Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Detail. I'm doing a prep and protect package on an M5 competition BMW. So I thought I would share the footage with you. This is the Marina Bay Blue Metallic with carbon fiber roof and blacked out trim. The power plant is a 617 horsepower, 553 foot-pounds of torque, twin-turbo 4.4 liter, 8-speed automatic transmission. The interior is all specced out in Silverstone merino leather, aluminum, carbon structured trim, and also the Alcantara headliner and B pillars. You definitely know you're driving a competition M5 as it's heavily badged inside and out. Tastefully done though. It has a 10.2-inch infotainment system screen, full digital gauges. This interior is decked out. It even has the M signature striping on the seatbelts. 16-speaker Harman Kardon surround system, 20-way multifunctional seats, no expense spared. So let's start under the hood. There's a bit of grit, a little bit of dirt, a lot of substrates under here, including painted substrates, plastic, carbon fiber-esque substrates. Let's clean them. We'll break out the detailing popo, mix them up in the foamer, and we'll get to it. Before we spread out the foamer, we're going to bring, you can use forced air from a compressor. We're going to use a little tiny leaf blower here. Get rid of any grit, leaves under here, whatever could have flown up under from up under the hood while it was moved around and driven. Even though in all the modern cars the connections are sealed, we still don't use a pressure washer or any type of free-flowing water, and I recommend you guys don't either. We use this foam. We use rinseless washes in all different forms. We like to combine it with the steamer to help loosen up any type of dirt that could be bonded and stuck under there for any long period of time. But for the most part, we're going to do a rinseless wash under the car to keep moisture out of that compartment. And as you can see, squeaky clean, nice and shiny, ready to be protected. And hey, if it would be in the budget for this particular package, we could polish under here as well. I'm going to grab my little leaf blower again and follow up just to make sure none of those little tiny bubbles from the foamer get in areas where we can't wipe them out. It also dries it completely. Then we can button up the hood. This vehicle does a great job sealing all of the seams of the car to make a noise deadening cabin nice and quiet for the owner. Let's get to the wheels. This is a pH-neutral wheel cleaner here, one of many products I picked up from Build Hammer, and I will be showcasing them for you. So this has the strength to remove dirt and baked-on brake dust from the grittiest, dirtiest wheels, but Also can be used on some of the intricate wheel designs and their finishes because it's not too harsh. It has a perfect balance and it breaks down the brake dust, which I mentioned in many of my videos is one of the most abrasive materials that can come in contact with your car. It can remove that stuff with the least amount of agitation of the product and the baked on brake dust to your wheels. That way you're cutting back on marring and scratching, and you can free it from the wheel. After rinsing the wheel, you can see the ferrous metal that was removed as it changes color during the exothermal chemical reaction of spraying the auto wheel onto the ferrous metal that's embedded in the finish of the wheel. That is now gone. So let's move on to the Build Hamber Auto Foam. The Auto Foam I have been dying to get my hands on, and it does not disappoint in any way. It has the perfect balance in more than one way, actually. When it comes to cleaning, it has the perfect balance of being able to break down stubborn traffic film. But it's not overbearingly caustic, where it will kind of dull and wear down surfaces, take gloss away from finishes. Also, when it comes to the foam, it's not the thick, dry shaving cream stuff that just clings and blows away with the wind. You don't want that. You want a little bit of a wetter foam so it can cling to the car, but yet still be wet and run slowly down the car, carrying, emulsifying, lifting some of the grit from the surface. This stuff is spot on. I am now lucky enough to have this physically within 35 minutes of my shop, so I can go pick it up in person. And I want to give a big thanks to the crew and staff of Clean Garage. I will have their link down below. Check out the website, stop in and say hello. A very gracious staff that's willing to share information on products that have been around and share information on new products and introduce you to the new stuff as well. I really had a good time there, and I'll be back. So while it's clinging, and I'll give it about 4 minutes if I can, 5, 6 I can get away with before it starts to kind of dry up. That doesn't matter, just wet it again, it will reactivate it, then you can rinse it. And that gives me a chance to get my soft detailing brush and work some of the bonded contaminants out of badges and hard to reach areas as well. Even if I'm a bit late to rinse off, and it's been there for quite some time, as you can see, rinses free quickly and easily, leaving behind a nice squeaky clean substrate. Now it's time to move on to the contact wash, and I might as well share the experience of another product I've been testing. This is Prism Car Wash from Malco. pH neutral, it's just there to remove soils and rinse away nice and clean. It has a nice bubblegum fragrance as well, if that counts to you. Drops down into the bucket in a nice ribbon form, and it breaks down as you mix up your water and the wash mitts all together into nice thick suds. As I mentioned before, the suds are real cool, makes it pretty for the camera, but means absolutely nothing. It's the lubrication, and this has a ton of lubrication to cut down, well, to help cut down on marring. That's the premise anyway. So let's get to work. We have 5 wash mitts. I do my contact wash for the new subscribers and some of my customers that keep an eye on the channel. 5 wash mitts, 1 for the top, 1 for the driver's side, 1 for the passenger side, 1 for the front and back. They get put to the side to be rinsed and dried, tumble dry on low heat later. That will help to keep from dirt to being introduced back into the wash bucket from the car to cut back on marring once again. That is the main theme when it comes to aftercare, wash maintenance, and wash technique. And we can rinse that free. Time to bring it inside into the nice, cozy, air-conditioned shop and we can start to dry it and continue on with the prep. Then grab your Metrovac dryer or whatever you want to call it. I like my favorite drying towels. Follow it up by the little miniature leaf blower to get those troublesome areas around the mirrors and the grille and the taillights where it just seems to want to run and run and run down the panels of the car. Also, I'll dry the wheels and the calipers with this as well. We're just getting started here. By no means are we finished. Let's concentrate on the wheels and the wheel arches right now and the calipers, get them perfectly clean, prepped, and then protected. And we could tuck those away and really concentrate on the painted surfaces afterwards. Now, we have it clean, the wheels and the calipers, but we want to hit it with the Built Hamber Cleanser Fluid. And this really reminds me of a solvent-based prep, panel prep. It's very, very effective, easy to work with, and you just spray it on the surface or onto a microfiber towel and work it into the surface and remove old waxes, old sealants, any oils from handling the panels or the wheels from your fingerprints or bumping up against it. And by the way, at the dealership, who knows what was used on it? It could have been washed with a car wash that has gloss enhancers or carnauba or a sealant in it within the formula. So we want to remove everything before protecting it, and we are ready to protect. This is a competition sedan, so it has some weight to it. It's a meaty vehicle and has a heavy-duty braking system. There are 3 levels or categories of temperatures reached within a few classes of vehicles, so let's go over just a few. A lot of the smaller passenger cars, lighter ones, the braking systems can reach and sometimes exceed 400 to 500 degrees. On a competition car like this, performance vehicles, heavier vehicles, sedans, and larger passenger vehicles, you're looking at 800 to 1,000 degrees. And then track vehicles are slightly above that. When we talk about utility vehicles or work vans, vehicles like that, they can actually reach 1,500 degrees. So this coating here is going to be able to handle a competition or a performance vehicle, a sedan, this size. I'll pass on the microsuede applicators for wheels. I have a bunch of these cheaper microfiber. We have the wheel protected now. Not only does it look absolutely fantastic, but it's going to be protected for quite some time. And brake dust, even with the brake package that is on here, will pretty much be non-existent. While the wheel is properly curing, and we let it cure before I handle it again, we're going to take care of the wheel arches and the finished calipers. Oh, by the way, those rotors, which are impressive, very heavy duty, you can take care of that rust with something called, and remember this, Hyde's Serum. You can Google it, find it on maybe Amazon. If I remember, I'll put a link down below for you. That'll take care of the rust on those rotors. In the wheel arches, I'm spraying Carpost Multi-X Cut 3-to-1. That's going to easily take care of the light dirt on these inner fender well plastic liners. We're also going to spray the caliper and clean that as well. After agitating the wheel arches to my satisfaction, I'm just taking a heavily diluted rinseless wash and rinsing off that dirt and foam down onto the mat. That is followed by firing up the air compressor, attaching the air chuck to the hose, and blowing out the inner fender well area and all the components inside to make sure they're perfectly dry before protection. If I don't have to wash it again, I'll hit that rotor with the Hide serum to clean it up and prevent rust. But now it's time to protect the caliper, and we're going to use the exact same thing we used on the wheels, Art to Shine wheel coat. The inner fender well, all the components in there, they're going to be protected with IGL Eclipse. It's the same thing I use in my undercarriage packages. They are available as well as additions to some of these packages. And that gets sprayed directly onto the surface. No wiping, you just spray it on, walk away. With the wheel now attached and the lug nuts tightened to spec, once again, we have everything completed in the wheel and the wheel arch area. We can now tuck them in and let them go for a couple days, let them cure, and concentrate on the paint. There are more and more of my wonderful subscribers every day, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So I'm going to show you this as much as I can. That's how thick clear coat is, 2 mils. Thinner than a Post-it. I like to go around when the customer comes in for an estimate and show them the measurement of all panels, a couple measurements per panel, and that gives me an indication if there's been work done to it, how much clear coat or the lack thereof, especially these days, the vehicle has. And I will make note of all of this. Let me walk you around the vehicle. Years ago, you walked around the BMW, you would get anywhere from 5 to 5.8 mils of the layers of primer, base coat, clear coat. Now we're barely getting 5 mils. It's mostly 3.9 to 4.9 mils on average on some of these newer vehicles. So not only are they putting less material on, meaning the primer, base coat, clear coat, but it's also now a water-based, meeting EPA standards, and it's much thinner, it's much softer. And I want to share that with you guys so you know what type of materials you're working with when you want to start a correction. I'm also going to get readings from the gloss meter, and I'm going to record them as well because we can normally improve them anywhere from 5 to 25% on a brand new car delivered, even if it's wrapped. So that's anywhere from 5 to 10 gloss units on the meter here. Let me show you what we have to start with. Bare, clear, squeaky clean, new clear coat. The pre-correction inspection, I'm going to surround the car and flood it with all of the unforgiving lights I have in the shop. That's quite a drastic change from the darkroom correction I like to do when I'm correcting, but it helps me pick up all the imperfections. And I'm going to go around and spot correct the worst of them first, such as areas like this. And there are some. There's never been a new car that doesn't have areas that need to be spot corrected, or the paint didn't need to be enhanced or brought out completely. Before any type of correction is done, I'm going to grab the cleanser fluid from Built Hammer one more time and go around and attack all of the painted surfaces. Again, I don't expect there to be a wax or a sealant from the dealership. Sometimes some of their lackluster coatings that they offer, but normally you want to follow up with some type of a panel prep because you never know if they use, like I mentioned before, a car soap that could have gloss enhancers. A lot of the shampoos have those these days. You want to look out for them. Make sure the shampoos are pH neutral, no gloss enhancers, no carnauba, no polymers in there, just straight up cleaning action. That's why I love CarPro Reset and some of the similar ones I've reviewed lately. You also want to put a little attention into the less obvious areas, like the painted surfaces wrapping down underneath the car, the lip of the front bumper, the side skirts, the diffusers in the back. You'd be surprised how many times these areas are overlooked. Out of sight, out of mind, not here. In my area, they are repainting the lines on not only the highways, but all the back roads and county roads. We have a little bit that caught the tire and splashed up onto the panels. No big deal. It's fresh. Citral 266, Goof Off Pro, anything like that will take care of it when it's fresh. In everyone's detailing arsenal, they should have quality masking tape. For me, it's going to be 3M Precision. That's the lime green, low profile, wafer thin tape. Perfect balance of having adhesive that'll stick but not pull paint with it. And in the low profile, the pad can skip over top without peeling up an edge and getting adhesive on your pad. I protect the trim. Not a lot of plastic to speak of, but a lot of black piano finish. Hey, a customer could walk in, grab my attention, the backing plate can hit up against that and damage it. Even after all these years, guys, I protect my backside with little precautions like this. We're ready to do the paint correction. Now that we've done some spot correction and removed any of the major imperfections, and they were just moderate at most, we have just a little bit of overall dullness and very light blemishes to remove. So the combination I pick is going to be very, very important. We want to bring out 15 to 20% more gloss on the finish, remove the light imperfections, and leave as much of that thin, soft clear coat behind as possible. So we're going to pick the Roops Ultra Fine DA foam pad. We'll attach that to the Max Shine 21 millimeter, and we're going to use the Geon primer, and this has very, very fun abrasives and also a little bit of silica resin to lay down a foundation or the building blocks to this major coating that's going on here. I like doing these series for you guys. I can pass along so much more information in these series than doing product reviews. So I'll mix it up. I'll do both. I'll continue to do both, but a little bit more of these types of series to help you guys out. Something I'm going to share. The primer polishes such as this Geon primer, and there are many other. Extreme Solutions has one. Just about every company has one now, along with the all-in-one that includes SiO2 all-in-ones. You don't want to work them more than 2 passes. So a crisscross pattern, which equals 2 passes, will be fine. If you want to wipe off the residue and check your work, load up the pad if you want to do some more passes. Why? If you do work the product for a long period of time and take advantage of the long cycle time, you're actually going to break down the silica resin within the formula, and that will weaken the foundation that you want to lay down or the protection you want to lay down if you're using it as an all-in-one. Every step we take here, the finish is improving more and more. Can't wait to see when this is done. Simply continue this process all the way around the car. This process here will not take you long at all. And at this point, I'll give this up to Junior to finish up. And when you're done, you simply let it sit. We're going to let it sit overnight, which will be somewhere around 12 hours till we can get back to it. And that will give those primers within the formula enough time to cure, and we can move on to the next step. Looking glossier by the minute. The gloss meter will put some numbers behind what we're seeing, and we are getting there slowly but surely. We're shooting for triple digits. Maybe that'll happen, at least maybe 98, 99 gloss units when we're done. So after it's fully cured, we're going to grab a nice plush microfiber and a weak IPA solution, and we're just going to mist into the microfiber, go around, collect any dust from anything that's settled over the car sitting overnight in the shop, and then removing any polishing agents or residue that was left over from jeweling the vehicle. I'll work a 2x2 or a 3x3 section at a time, crisscross pattern, not lifting the block, and then following up with two microfibers. I get asked often about the microfiber situation and what to do with them after or during a coating. Do you throw them away? Do you downgrade them? Do you wash them as quick as you can? I'll explain that. But first, let me give you a neat first person view of the carbon fiber roof and us laying down the metal oxide coating on top of it. All right, I get a lot of questions on the microfibers, what to do with them. Well, first of all, I get asked how many I go through. I probably will have 12 to 16 microfibers in here by the time I'm done. Every few panels, I'm going to switch because they get saturated, so to speak, rather quickly with the coating. And then you just start pushing the coating around, not effective removing the transfer solution. But drop them in a bucket, warm water, with a half ounce to an ounce of power clean. That will slow down the curing process enough to get them into a washing machine and clean them so you can still guys, you want to downgrade them to maybe just interior work or engine bay or wheels or something like that. I never lay them down onto a finished vehicle, the painted surfaces or pillars again. Now it's time to get into those tighter areas, and we'll take care of the black trim, take care of the grill area. So I'll take the microsuede applicator off the block and just wrap it around my fingers and get them that way. There are a few other ways you can get some of the more intricate designs in grills. You can use some of the foam painting sticks that you can pick up anywhere they sell paint, and just put a couple drops on the foam and then work it in between the grates of the grill. Another way I like to apply coating to these areas is by spraying them, but I have my son right next to me in the next bay doing some delicate work, and we do not want either the vapors or the mist of the coating flying around, so I'm going to stick to this procedure today. Here at the shop, our customer gets the full treatment, and that means all painted surfaces will get coated with the coating of their choice. Door jambs, any painted surfaces under the trunk, under the hood, underneath the vehicle, and even inside. Sometimes you have some of these real neat little sporty cars that have some interior work that is the same color as the exterior, and they get included as well because they're top coated. This will conclude all painted surfaces. So while we're under the hood, we're going to protect all of the plastic trim and covers in this area. And that will complete the engine bay. So we're going to use the Acute Sense from Tax System, and that is an excellent plastic coating. It is chemical resistant, UVA, UVB, makes it easy to clean. You just apply it with a microfiber applicator and level it off very lightly with a microfiber towel. Guys, even if you have a beater, keep the engine compartment of your vehicle clean. Dirt acts as an insulator. So we'll take off the tire covers. We'll let everything breathe. While most of the surfaces and substrates cure, we're going to work on the glass. This package is going to be an inside-out glass coating all of the windows. We're going to start with the windshield. Not a ton of miles on this, so all we're going to have to do is use the Sonax glass cleaner and one of the glass pads from the glass coating kits that I have here. Nothing major, no polishing, no excess scrubbing or harsh chemicals needed. This is a graphene glass coating and is applied pretty much the same way you would apply it to any hard substrate or painted surface on the exterior of your car. Crisscross pattern, make sure you have even coverage. And when that's curing, we can jump to the tires. They are getting coated as well. Fireballs, SiO2 tire coatings, gloss, and satin. Most of the exterior surfaces and substrates, Junior was protecting and sprucing up the inside, and that includes all hard surfaces, leather and plastic taken care of with Art to Shine, leather plastic coat. The trim was coated with the same stuff we used on the outside, actually, and the fabric, the carpeting, the floor mats were coated as well. All that's left for the M5 to do is just relax and cure until the owner drives down to pick it up. We're going to let it sit here for 24 hours plus, give it proper cure time. They're calling for beautiful weather over the weekend, so it's going to be a nice ride home. As I mentioned at the beginning of the series, I was aiming for gloss units in the triple digits. And we're going to be there. We're at 99, 98. It's fluctuating. It's within the first few hours it needs to cure. By the time that 7 to 10 day cure period is up, it will be there. All the work put into the huge jump in gloss cost the clear coat nothing when it comes to depth. The measurements are exactly the same all the way around. I had a blast working on this vehicle and especially this color, and I really appreciate the opportunity given to us by Steve, the owner, taking the time and bringing the vehicle this far for us to protect. Okay, Stephen, we're ready to send you on your way with your new BMW. You've come a long way. Obviously, the shop here is in Pennsylvania. Where did you drive up from?
From Connecticut.
Okay.
Connecticut.
And you're buying a new car, but obviously you realize that there's room for improvement. What were you looking for on your BMW?
Well, as we talked on the phone, I'm a car guy. I've had many cars, and I learned actually from watching your show how important it was to get that first coating down while the car is still in good shape, to preserve it. Yep. Exactly. So I started looking around at different detailers, and I decided that I would come here because I actually like the way you how you go about it. I'm an engineer by training and degree, and the way you approach things appeal to me.
But are you happy with the?
You bet.
All right.
You bet.
Enjoy, and thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you.